Next topic involves Offensive Rookie of the Year candidates in the NFL. We have two candidates. Their names are Baker Mayfield and Saquon Barkley. And I have two guests to debate with me about who should win Offensive Rookie of the Year for 2018. Their names are Sean Davison and Bryson Hogstead. So I will be making calls with them right now. So, we're going to ask you two this question, okay? Should Baker Mayfield or Saquon Barkley win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Well, I would say probably Baker Mayfield, but I'm kind of biased, But, yeah.
It's okay to be biased. It's okay to be a little biased, as long as it's not over the hill biased.
Yeah, I feel like both have reasonable claims to be Rookie of the Year, but I would just say, me being a Browns fan, kind of, put Baker Mayfield over Saquon Barkley for me.
All right, then.
All right. For me, I'd say it's pretty easy. I think it's Saquon. That's what it is. Yes, he's impressed me all year. Prove me wrong.
Bryson?
Well, I'm not going to disagree with that. I think, that's not anything unreasonable, but I would just say for Baker Mayfield, if you just look at where the Browns were at and basically them having no success at all, in the past, decade, and now he's actually the one to bring them back, and he's only a rookie. I feel like that. I feel like what Saquon Barkley is doing is has had a precedent, but what Baker Mayfield has done is unprecedented.
All right, so I agree with that. 1,000%. Baker Mayfield did flip the organization around. They did bring in some free agents and stuff, but Baker Mayfield, when their quarterback got injured, he stepped in and won them the game. That's really impressive to me. But Saquon, he almost has 2,000 scrimmage yards, and I think he'll reach it. He has 1,155 rush yards and 654 receiving yards. That's just way more than I thought he would. He actually might also beat what Ezekiel Elliott did last year in his rookie year, when Ezekiel Elliott, that's his player comparison in the draft. Ezekiel Elliott had 1,994 yards, and I think Saquon Barkley is going to beat that. And we all remember how dominant Ezekiel Elliott was that season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You say what you got to say.
I was just gonna say, whenever I said what Saquon Barkley was doing was precedented, that's what I was kind of comparing it to, because I felt like this Saquon this year, coming into the year, I thought if he was gonna be impressive, he was gonna be like an Ezekiel Elliott. That's just what I was thinking. He's lived up to that. He might surpass it.
I certainly think he will. For sure, Bryson. To answer that part, certainly he's on pace for over 2,000 scrimmage yards. Zeke did not get that in his rookie year, although he did get pulled out in his last game. But he does have 82 receptions, which is pretty impressive for a running back. It's usually what you see a receiver do.
Yeah. With all the other targets, Odell, Sterling Shepard, Ebron, he still managed to get 600 receiving yards, and that's really impressive to me. And also, he's got all these rushing yards with the bad offensive line. Maybe the worst in the league. Maybe the Texans, maybe the Giants.
I think the Giants. I think the Giants are the worst O-line in football, guys. Outside of the Texans, they have 46. They have allowed 46 sacks on Eli Manning. And we were complaining last year. Everybody, we all said, the Giants, they had a terrible O-line. But, they only allowed 31 sacks on Eli Manning in 15 games, which isn't great. But when you look at this year, they've allowed 46 and 14. So, obviously, it speaks for themselves.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say another impressive thing about Saquon Barkley is that like him and Alvin Kamara are really helping like to evolve the running back position into something that's more versatile. Like on the pass, you'd just be like run heavy. Like that's all it did. They would just run it, and only the occasional pass would be caught by a running back. But now you see running backs catching passes all the time. I think he's a big part of it.
Yeah, because usually running backs will be just blocking pieces on pass plays. Now, if there's nothing open downfield, you just dump it to your running back, and they can pick you up 20 yards.
Yeah.
I kind of have to disagree with the fact that Saquon Barkley is a big reason why running backs are the way they're playing today, because it was like that beforehand. Christian McCaffrey, for an example. Alvin Kamara, for an example. I mean, you see, we already had those guys. Kareem Hunt, in 2017. So I think those guys paved the way. And Saquon's just a product of it.
Yeah, I just think that Saquon probably has done it the most effectively so far as we've seen. So I think that's what's been so impactful about it. Like, he's just, because most of the time, whenever you see, like, good pass catching backs, like, Alvin Kamara is really good, but I feel like like, Saquon has a higher ceiling than Alvin Kamara. At least that's what I think. So he's kind of able to do both. And he's also, I feel like, has more I feel like Alvin Kamara is just kind of more of like a speed guy, but I feel like Saquon could be a 3-down back.
Saquon is everything. He's everything.
Saquon can do everything. He's fast, strong, like.
But to point out your point about effectiveness, are you sure it was really effective at the beginning of the season? And Sean, I know you watched this game. Do you remember when the Giants, they got smacked to the Cowboys in week 2, remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember because I had like losing that matchup in like my other fantasy league because Saquon Barkley had like 14 receptions. But anyways, back on topic. The point is Saquon Barkley, he had 14 receptions, but he only had like 80 receiving yards in a blowout game where most of his catches came like when the game was basically over. Would you really say that's effective?
I wouldn't say that we should judge him too heavily on his second ever NFL game.
I also have something to say. Can I go? Right. So the Dallas defense, they locked up Alvin Kamara. They did that. Like, so you can't really judge that off what Bryson was saying, his second game.
I know,
they
but
locked up
it's just something to point out. Something to point out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what a Saquon hater could say. That's not saying that I'm a Saquon hater, but I'm just saying there's plenty of other people out there. When I was doing this, I was thinking that Baker was going to win Rookie of the Year, and then I looked at Saquon's numbers, and they shocked me, to be honest with you. I knew Saquon was having an excellent season, but just wow what he's doing. And they're historic numbers, and I mean that's why he's going to win Rookie of the Year to me. With the historic rushes, and plus he didn't even get 300 carries, which is usually the mark where a running back declines after that. So I think the Giants are they're saving it up long term too. So that's good too that they're not letting this body get beat up, because for some reason running backs that hit the 300 carry mark, they all of a sudden get worse the following season.
Yeah, I think the sad part kind of about running backs that are good is that once I feel like they'll hit their peak early in their career, and then they'll just kind of go downhill because they're just taking so many hits. Well, I feel like this shouldn't weigh on who wins Rookie of the Year this year, but I'm just saying that quarterbacks have more longevity than somebody like Saquon Barkley.
But I do think Saquon can endure those hits. He's a big running back, power back. He knows how to get himself down. He knows when to fight for yards. He's a smart guy. He's going to last a long time in the National Football League.
something that I found that's really cool is Saquon. This is a big reason why I think he should. 14 out of the 16 games, he's had at least 100 scrimmage yards.
Yeah, I mean, even when you think you're stopping him, you really aren't, because look, there was a game against the Panthers. It was early on in the season, and I remember my mom made a comment about the running back. She didn't say the running back's name. She didn't know who he was, but she was saying like that running back. He kept losing yards because I remember the Panthers front 7-8 went pretty good, but he ended up having a good game statistically because he ended up making some big plays down the stretch. So you could lock him up for like 3.5 quarters and then he'll just explode. That's the great thing about Saquon.
Like,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that, like, I watched Saquon, in college, because, he played at Ohio State in college. I'm an Ohio State fan, and just kind of have a bunch of, like, 3 or 4 yard gains, like not anything too spectacular, but then like just one play he would just take off and he'd have like a 92-yard run or something crazy.
Saquon's a guy that you gotta keep giving him the ball, but not necessarily through handing him off like AP. You gotta keep giving him, like, whether it's through screens, whether it's through lying about a wide out, or whether it's just him bursting out a big run. Because his vision is greatness.
Yeah, you can't say this about many players, but every single play, he has the chance to take it to the house. Every play.
And he knows when to get down too, so he knows when to just take it.
Yeah, his IQ is way better than I thought, especially for a rookie.
His IQ is off the charts. I mean, there was also his debut. He had like a 62-yard touchdown run, something like that. It might have been 64. I can't remember exactly, but and he was actually struggling up to that point. And then boom, that's how he got his 100 scrimmage yards, and that was his defining moment right there.
So you just have to keep giving it to him until eventually capitalize. We
Yeah.
can always count on that.
All right. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think everybody can agree our assessment on Saquon Barkley. Let's talk about Baker Mayfield, all right? Your guy, Baker.
Okay.
Let's say miraculous, and it's not going to happen, but let's just say it will for the sake of this argument. Would you guys be convinced that Baker Mayfield will win Rookie of the Year, or should win Rookie of the Year, if he makes the playoffs?
It depends on how he plays in the playoffs, I think.
It's a regular season only award in my opinion.
It's kind of tough. I think I would say it depends on how he performs in the next couple games.
Let's say he performs good, and let's say he's been playing like he's been the last month, where he's been really good. And they get to 8-7-1, and they somehow get to the playoffs.
Like if he plays spectacular and he was the one who like willed him there, I feel like you should give it to him. But if he's just like okay, like where he just has like if he throws like 4 touchdowns in the next games, then I feel like 4 touchdowns in each maybe, then you should give it to him just because of how clutch he is as a performer, and he's the driving force there in the playoffs. I feel like you would give it to him in that situation, but most of the time, I would say that you should give it to Saquon.
Yeah, I think it's really important that Week 17 matchup against the Ravens. I want to see who wins that QB battle: Lamar Jackson or Baker Mayfield.
What's more interesting to me about that matchup is Baker Mayfield versus that number 1 Ravens defense. I said that was the best defense in football before the season started, and they have not proven me wrong.
Yeah, I remember you calling that they were the best defense.
And then you like ridiculed me and said they were like better defenses like the Eagles and all that. I said no, it's going to be the Ravens. And they don't have a lot of studs on there, but they play disciplined football.
Yeah, so I think if Baker can top not only Lamar Jackson but that extremely good defense, I think he should definitely be way more considered than he is right now.
Okay. I think that if he just wins the last 2 games alone, I think that should be enough for him to make Rookie of the Year. Win 2 games alone and make the playoffs. Hard feat to do for the Browns. They haven't
Yeah.
made the playoffs in 16 years. That's about as impressive as you can get.
Mm-hmm. I'd be happy with either one of them winning because they're both really good.
Yeah. Barkley 5-9, Mayfield 6-7-1. What has been your favorite play by Mayfield and Barkley? You two, and then I'll give mine.
Our favorite play?
Yeah.
I really think it was just in that first game he played, Saquon. It was just that big. It was like a 64-yard touchdown run in his first game. I think that was just a huge moment for him, and all the haters too.
Yeah. You, Bryson?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? I didn't hear you the first.
Right now, what's your favorite play by Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, I'd probably say just his long runs, and I know he has had some really nice screens, and he's been able to take them to the house.
Yeah, my favorite play was. I gotta agree with Sean. That 64-yard touchdown run. It was welcome to the NFL. Here he comes.
I also really like the one where he gave Odell Beckham Jr. a touchdown pass.
I didn't like that one too much, to be honest with you, just because it was against my team. All right. What about Mayfield? What's y'all's favorite play?
I don't really have a specific play for him, but just that first game, all of it. Whenever he came in for the injured quarterback, and he won him that game, that was a big moment for his whole career. I think this whole season.
Bryson?
I forgot what team it was against, but it was one of the first plays of the game. I think it might have been the Steelers, but it was one of the first plays of the game, and he just bombed it downfield, and it was. I don't think it was quite a touchdown, but it just showed his arm strength. He isn't the biggest guy, but just to be that accurate and strong is impressive.
My favorite play was the 2-point conversion play against the Jets that he caught.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it showed his underrated athleticism, all that stuff. All right, so last question, okay? You think Baker Mayfield is going to beat the Bengals and the Ravens?
I think the Bengals, not the Ravens.
I'd have to probably agree, but I think it will be close against the Ravens. But
it's going to be closer than what people will think. It's going to be close. So don't write the Browns off, guys. Don't write them off, because I did that for the season. Now I look like an idiot.
I think that game will come down to the last drive.
Yeah. I got Baker winning week 16, him losing week 17. Same reasons as you guys. What about Saquon Barkley? You think he can beat the Colts and the Cowboys?
I think he goes 0-2 in those games. I think the Colts, just because the Colts are playing well and stuff, and I think the Cowboys, because they could lose this game. I highly doubt it, but they could lose the game against the Bucs, and they need to win at least one to get in the playoffs. But also, I think Cowboys also want to try and win that game, maybe for home field advantages or something like that.
The Cowboys, if the Bears win, then the Cowboys are pretty much locked at the 4th seed.
If the Bears win?
If the Bears win, the Cowboys win. The Cowboys can't lose anything. They can't gain anything.
All right, yeah. I just don't think they're good enough. I think they're gonna tank to get a good pick.
What about you, Bryson?
I'd probably agree with that. I think they could beat the Colts. I feel like with the Cowboys, I'm going to say probably not. But I think they got shut out this past week, didn't they? So I'm not feeling amazing about the Cowboys. But
all right.
I don't know.
I got the Colts winning that one. All right, so I got Saquon Barkley losing that game, and I got the Colts. No, not the Colts. The Cowboys game. I think the Giants will win that one just because the Cowboys are going to rest starters in that game. But if they don't, then the Cowboys will win. But a reminder to you guys, even if those guys lose the last 2 games, it shouldn't take anything away from them, especially for Saquon Barkley. Running back can't impact the game like a quarterback can, usually.
Yeah, I have to stress this point. Saquon Barkley's done this all season with that horrible offensive line. It's hard to break out 60-yard runs with that bad of an offensive line.
Yeah, so I got Saquon, you got Saquon, Sean, and Bryson, you got Baker.
Yeah, I'll go with Baker.
All right, we'll see what the correct answer is going to be during the season during the awards show the night before the Super Bowl. So thank you to two for talking about this with us, debating about this. All right, so see you guys later.
Okay, see ya.
All right,
Yeah,
bye.
Merry Christmas.
All right, Merry Christmas, guys. Bye.
Bye.
And those are my thoughts on the Offensive Rookie of the Year candidates, as well as Sean's opinion and Bryce's opinion on Rookie of the Year candidates. So those are my thoughts and his thoughts and that guy's thoughts on that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here. Get the latest in the show. Be sure to check out more of the best clips from Train Talks, or go check out my previews and recaps of Monday and Thursday night football games.